My parents started charging me rent when I got into college and gave me back the money after I graduated, so I'm cutting them off and they'll never hear from me again. For a bit of context, when I was in high school, I had to get a job from a friend of my father's, because my parents wanted me to appreciate that material goods were paid for with my time. They aren't rich, but they do well enough. I saved most of my earnings and only bought myself some things I wanted but my parents wouldn't buy for me. I didn't mind, and I bought myself a PS4 and some games, which they made me share it with my younger brother and sister. Once again, I didn't mind. I mostly played while they did homework or slept. When I graduated from high school, they suddenly said I had to start paying rent. That sucked because I was going to university in the fall, and I was hoping to save up over the summer so I could work less during the school year. So, I worked as hard as I could in school and at work. I ended up getting a job loading delivery trucks before school, which sucked because I went to sleep at 7 p.m. most nights so I could get up early and go to work. I am about to graduate, and I found a job in another province. I have already started doing my onboarding and online training. I will go from graduation to loading my car to leaving. My parents had a graduation party for me where they tried to present me with a check for all the rent I paid plus a pittance in interest. I looked at the check for about a minute and started laughing. All I could think of was the fact that I had no social life during university. Because I was working, I didn't have any money invested like my friends did, because they were taking my money. I asked them how they were doing this for my sister. They said they weren't since she wasn't working while she went to school. I tore up the check and told them they could go screw themselves. I told them that when they compensated me for all the sleep I lost, 4 years of no social life during university, and 4 summer vacations, I would speak to them again. I told my little brother not to get a job or they would screw him over too. I went to my room, grabbed my computer, some clothes, my PS4, and my toiletries. My brother and sister can play on the PS5 my parents bought for the family. They were yelling at me the whole time. I said if they touched me or tried to stop me, I would call the cops. I loaded up my car, that I paid for, insured, and registered to me. I drove to my friend's parents' house and had a bit of a breakdown. They let me stay there since she is away at university in another city. I blocked my parents and my brother and sister. I had already given notice at my job, so I called my boss and told him I was sick and would not be available for my last week. He said he understood and laughed. He said he was surprised I had kept working this close to graduation. My grandfather called me to talk a couple of days later. We went to Timmy's, and he let me unload everything I felt. They took money from me that I could have used to make my life better. I didn't even have time for a girlfriend. My entire university romantic life was hooking up with a woman I worked with when her ex-husband had the kids for the weekend. He said my parents' hearts were in the right place and that they thought they were helping me. I said they owed me 4 years of fun, of parties I was too tired to go to, of social events and networking I didn't do. All the stuff they were subsidizing for my sister, and that they would end up subsidizing for my brother. He said he understood and hugged me. He is old, but I couldn't have gotten free of that hug if I tried. He asked me if I needed money to start my new job. I said I did not want anything that came from my parents. He gave me a cashier's check for about 3 times what my parents took from me. He said to use it however I wanted in my new life. He said it wasn't part of my inheritance or anything, it was a gift from him and something my grandma would have wanted me to have. My friends think I was stupid to tear up the check, and most of them agree with me about being pissed at my parents. Some family members have called me to say I behaved terribly and that I owe my parents an apology. I just thank them for the call or message and then block them. I'm calmer now, and I do not think I am in the wrong. But maybe I'm too close to see what I'm missing. Am I or was I overreacting? Update 1. I took a lot of what you guys had to say to heart and I unblocked my family and spoke with my parents. I agreed to meet with them for lunch today, so we went to the keg and talked. They said they didn't realize how I felt for those 4 years. My mom cried and said she was very sorry that I felt like they didn't care about me. I guess they read my post before it got taken down, and they are disturbed by what I wrote. They are also upset that my girlfriend is a single mom 14 years older than me. They asked if they could meet her, and I said no. They offered me the check again, and this time I took it and thanked them. I said I would come home later. After lunch, I went to the bank and deposited it. Since we all bank at the same branch, it was easy to cash it. I made sure that the money was in my account, then I blocked them again. I just wrote my girlfriend a check for $4,312 to help her out, basically the amount of interest that was on the money more or less. I only have what was rightfully mine. She was very appreciative of the money and tried not to accept it. I said my next choice for that money would be Pierre Poilievre, and she accepted it just to keep it away from him. She is a decent person, and she taught me a lot. She works incredibly hard loading trucks, and she deserves something good in her life. I know that isn't me. I am seeing my grandfather tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure he knows what I did and why. I am also going to invite him out to see my new place once I move out west. I'm spending the weekend at my girlfriend's house since her ex has the kids. Thank you all for your help and advice.